In this video, we're going to build a complete wall run system in Roblox Studio. Your character will stick to walls, run along them, slide down when you stop moving, and even chain wall jumps to climb across multiple walls. The entire system runs on the client, works with any vertical wall, and by the end of this tutorial, you'll have everything working inside your own game. Let's get started. First, let's prepare everything in the Explorer. Inside replicated storage, create a folder called Wall Run. Inside that folder, add a module script named Animation IDs. This module will store all of our animation IDs along with the movement settings. Next, go to Starter Player, then Starter Player Scripts, and create a local script named Wall Run Controller. This single script controls the entire wall running system. You'll also need a standard R15 dummy for creating animations, plus a few tall anchored walls to test the mechanic. Now, let's create the animations. This system uses 8 animation clips. You'll need a wall run, wall slide, wall jump, and wall land animation for both the left and right sides. The right side versions are simply mirrored from the left. Create them using the Roblox animation editor on your R15 rig. The wall run and wall slide animations should loop continuously, while the jump and landing animations should only play once. Unlike many animation systems, this one doesn't require animation markers or keyframe events. Everything is controlled directly by the script, so just focus on making the animations look good. When each animation is finished, right-click it, choose Save to Roblox, and publish it. Copy the generated asset IDs because we'll use them in the next step. Now open the Animation IDs module. Inside, you'll find 2 tables. The first stores every animation asset ID. The second contains all of the configurable values used by the movement system. Replace each placeholder animation ID with the IDs you've just published. Even if you leave the IDs at 0, the movement system will still work. You'll simply have no animations playing, which is actually useful while you're tuning the movement first. The configuration table lets you adjust almost every part of the mechanic. Detect distance controls how close the player must be before grabbing a wall. Run speed changes how fast the player moves across the wall. The wall jump settings control how high and how far the player launches away. We'll adjust a few of these values inside the controller script shortly. Next, paste the complete script into the wall run controller. Everything lives inside one file. At the top, we grab the Roblox services and require the Animation IDs module. Right after that is the defaults table. This automatically fills in any missing configuration values, so the script never crashes if the module is missing newer settings. Immediately below are the runtime tuning values. Here I override several wall jump settings, like wall jump up and wall jump out. Keeping these values inside the controller makes it easy to fine-tune movement without editing the configuration module. If you want a higher jump, this is the value you'll change. Below that are the runtime variables. These keep track of whether we're wall running, which side we're attached to, the wall normal, movement direction, cooldown timers, and the maximum run duration. The next section handles animations, camera effects, and movement trails. The Load Anims function loads every animation that has a valid asset ID. One important line sets every animation's priority to action. Without this, Roblox's default animate script will blend its walking animation with ours, making the wall poses look incorrect. Wall run and wall slide animations loop continuously. Jump and landing animations only play once. The camera shake effect briefly offsets the humanoid camera, adding a little impact without locking the player's view. Then, we build the trail effects. Attachments are created on the hands and feet, with trails disabled by default. Whenever the player jumps away from a wall or lands after a run, the trails briefly flash before automatically turning off. A helper function performs Raycasts while ignoring our own character. Another function checks whether the surface is actually a vertical wall instead of a floor or steep slope. When we begin wall running, we disable the humanoid's auto-rotate because we'll control the character's facing direction ourselves. We then create a linear velocity to move the player along the wall, and an align orientation to keep the character perfectly upright. Setting rigidity enabled to true is important because it prevents the player from slowly tilting while standing still. Finally, we start the wall run animation and play a small camera shake. When the run ends, everything is cleaned up. Auto rotate is restored, cooldown timers begin, and if the player lands successfully, the landing animation and trail effects play. Whenever the character respawns, the setup function reloads animations, rebuilds the trails, and reconnects everything automatically. Now for the main update loop. Every frame, the script first checks whether we're already attached to a wall. It constantly raycasts back toward the wall to verify that it's still there. If the wall disappears or the player somehow reaches the opposite side, the wall run immediately ends. The script calculates the direction to run by using the wall's surface normal. Instead of constantly pushing the player into the wall, it measures the current distance from the surface and gently pulls the player toward the ideal gap. This keeps the character attached smoothly and prevents clipping through thin walls. Movement has 3 different states. If there's no movement input, the player slowly slides downward. Finally, let's look at wall jumping. The jump input only works while wall running. A short debounce prevents multiple jumps from firing instantly. There's also a configurable wall jump delay that forces the player to stay attached briefly before jumping again. Increasing this value creates a slower, more deliberate rhythm for chaining wall jumps. The launch itself combines 3 separate forces: an upward force for height, a force away from the wall to push the player outward, and a forward force that carries momentum toward the next wall. When the jump happens, the trail effect flashes and the wall jump animation plays. Now it's time to test everything. Press play, sprint toward a wall, jump while you're still airborne, and your character should grab the wall automatically. Hold forward to run across it. Release your movement key to slide down. Hold backward if you want to descend faster. Press jump while wall running to launch toward another wall, and keep chaining your movement. If something doesn't work, here are a few quick things to check. If you fall straight down instead of sticking, increase the detect distance, or make sure you're actually jumping into the wall. If your animations don't fully play, confirm that every animation track uses action priority. And if wall running never starts, remember that the trigger only activates while you're airborne and moving above the minimum speed. And that's it. You now have a complete client-side wall run system with smooth wall movement, sliding, landing effects, and chained wall jumps that work on virtually any wall. You can download the rig from the link below, add these 2 scripts to your project, publish your own animations, and you're ready to go. If you enjoyed this tutorial, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe for more Roblox Studio tutorials, and I'll see you in the next one.